Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had the LA County Probation Chief Rosa smash that subscribe button, go ahead and have him smash it right now. He's definitely on our radar. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the newest patrons this month. Trevor, Main Jail Yard, Erasmo, Benny, Sergio, Grant, El Skid, Joquez, Nathan, and Scott. As you can see, that list is getting bigger and bigger. You're the only one that hasn't signed up yet. Make sure you hit that link in the description below. You are definitely missing out. This episode right here is going to be about being married to a correctional peace officer, right? What it looks like, what it takes, the strength, the weaknesses, and how it affects a relationship, a marriage. I did 16 years with the California Department of Corrections as an officer, a sergeant, and a lieutenant. That's a lot of third watch, and third watch, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. for my wife to deal with, to handle. For 16 years, my schedule was 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., bouncing around from Tuesday, Wednesdays off, Wednesday, Thursdays off. I did have that little gig as PIO for 5 months, public information officer. My schedule was constantly bouncing around from worse to worse to worse to a little better, a little worse, a little better. Right? Constant swaps. Overtime, holdovers. Well, they were technically all holdovers. I rarely volunteered for overtime. Never really did. So Hector, you have been together with your wife since day one. Day one of becoming a correctional officer. As a matter of fact, I graduated the academy on a Friday. That Saturday, that weekend, I came up to San Diego. It was St. Patrick's Day. That was our first date. On and cracking. Been on and cracking ever since. Well, Hector, I know the hell you're not God's gift to women. So what the fuck is the secret? What the hell? How? Right? Look, man, I'm not exempt. I am not exempt from what the strain that the department caused on our marriage. Boy, did it cause some strain. Wow, I said strange, right? Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucking twisted. First and foremost, my personality, I'm kind of not easy person to deal with, right? And that's speaking on behalf of my wife. She'll probably tell you one of these days. One day I came home and said, oh yeah, I quit the prison. What do you mean you quit the prison? Oh yeah, a bunch of unethical buffoons up at the top. Didn't want nothing to do with it anymore. Oh my God. We're going to go homeless. Don't trip, babe. Don't trip. I'm not a dummy. You know I'm not a dummy. Just gotta borrow some money real quick, right? Don't trip. That's kind of how it went down. For sure. Trust me, G. But look, for 16 years as a correctional peace officer, I never, ever, rarely, 98.9% of the time, never talked about work to my wife. Never did. Maybe 99.9%. Never. Ever. And here's why. And I can guarantee I'm speaking for the masses. Whether you're a male in the department or a female in the department. Right? This topic's coming up for a reason. The stuff that we endure and see on a daily basis, on a constant basis, is not something that we want to talk about at all. There is nothing, and I'm going to share it out here with you guys so you guys just know the gravity of such situations, right? I can assure you that your loved one more than likely has performed CPR. on an overdosed inmate. Maybe more than once, right? And this is something you could possibly ask. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I can assure you they've seen their fair share of dead individuals. Easily. That's given for sure. 100%. Brutal stabbings. Murders. Rapes. Suicides. Self-mutilation. Gassings. Staff assaults. Gallons and gallons of blood. And I can assure you that they saw all of that, went home, and didn't say a peep. Did not say one word at all. You wouldn't know the difference between that day or the next. For sure. And I know this because that was me. That was me. The only difference is when something bad would happen, I would send my wife a text and it would say, getting off late. Incident. Period. Incident. Bye. Late. Like one line, one worders. Right. Boom. As you guys know, you're working in a prison, you cannot take your cell phone in there. You cannot. It's against the rules. You will get fucked. Like 5% of your paycheck for like a year, 10% of a paycheck, like, right? Especially if you be having those little rats in there trying to promote to the next level, and there do be some rats up in that motherfucker. Edgar Garcia, he's one of them. He's still out on workman's comp. I don't understand this. Why haven't they got the guy yet? He used to be my homito till he said he was going to drop the martillo on everyone. That's another thing. Imagine your loved one going to work every day and dealing with some fucking buffoons. And I'm not even talking about the inmates. I don't even think I'm going to mention inmates once in this fucking thing, right? Except for all the carnage I just said. But except for that. Imagine dealing with some buffoonery, some unethicalness, some getting written up for something you literally didn't do. And then you're festering all that hate and yeah, I could say it. I'm free. Hate. And you just thinking the worst fucking thoughts up here. You're supposed to go home and kiss your dog, right? Play with a child. You want to... This is how it would look like for me, man. I would go to fucking RJD hell on earth. Worse than Iraq. You heard it here first. You know, at least in Iraq, they were trying to kill me fair and square. Donovan, these fucking managers were just straight stabbing me in the back every opportunity they got. Not just me, everyone. But, go home, I would be fucking done, exhausted. My fuel tank up here, empty. Freaking verbal judo with the inmates. Hey, man, come out of the cage. Nah, fuck you, on dead homies, cuz. Come on, man, get out of the cage. Nah, you don't know me, man. Oh, my. Get out of the motherfucking cage before I go in there and break every goddamn bone in your body. Alright, I'll come out, LT. That was my verbal de-escalation towards the end. You know, and I never said this, but yeah, I used to threaten to break every bone in their body if they didn't come out of the cage, and miraculously they would come out of the cage, right? It's kind of funny how that works. So imagine going like that, and then you go home, and your wife's like, hey, let's go walk the dog. And I'm like, I don't want to go walk the fucking dog. Well, you never want to do nothing. You never want to spend family time. It's like, oh, you motherfucker. Oh, bring me that dog real quick, babe. Bring me that fucking dog. As a matter of fact, bring me that dog, right? That's where my whole joke of kicking the dog goes. That's what it looked like for me, right? It caused a lot of fucking strain. The department did. The department. Do me and my wife still have little arguments, bickering here and there? Yeah. Of course, right? This is relationships in general. And I'm not the one to be taking relationship advice from. I'm just telling you the strain that the department caused on our marriage. So I was recently speaking to a female who is in the department. Watches the videos and this and that and this and that. And said, like, hey, you know what? You haven't really touched on this subject. This subject is real. This subject does cause tension. You know, it kind of ruins a lot of marriages. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. We know this. And that's where that came from, man. We're not going to go home. We're not going to ever talk about it. And you know what used to piss my wife off the most? Is when there would be a party, a gathering of friends, of coworkers, or whatever. And I'm just chopping it up with like my compadre who's in the department. Both of them, man, I'd be having a few compadres and they all be in the department. And we start talking about stories, right? And that's just because they can relate. They can relate. Either they were there, they know the lingo, they know they can tell me something that happened in another prison. I'll start laughing because I totally can picture the whole scenario, right? Come home, my wife's like, you won't talk to me about it, but you talk to this and that. I'm like, oh, fuck, is this shit ever gonna end, right? Throw the trash, walk the dog. You always tell other people stories, you never tell me nothing. And it's like, oh, fuck. None of that is by design. Like I said, I'm telling you, this is something that's just like, this for me, I had an issue coming back from Iraq, talking to my wife about stuff that happened in Iraq. She wasn't with me at all. She met me after I got out of the military. But if I try to tell a story, a deep one, where now I'm what's it called? Where I'm becoming vulnerable. And I think this is the same for CDCR, right? Even if you haven't been in the military or war, I think this is the same feelings. You allow yourself to become vulnerable as a CO to your spouse, and then they go and they say something that you think they shouldn't have said, wasn't appropriate, didn't fit the scenario, and now you're highly upset. Period. That's the way it looked, for sure. You know, and nobody's doing this on purpose. Ain't nobody gonna say, I'm gonna purposely go fuck up your day or piss your day off. Nah, it's just the environment that's fostered, right? Now, infidelity, relationships, jealousy, suspicions, actual infidelity. You got boys and girls working together in a high testosterone environment. The majority, who knows these days? You got alpha males and alpha females, period, right? And I always heard this. I never used this as an excuse, but I could see it for sure. You are working with your partner 8 hours, 16 hours. You are seeing trauma together. You speak the same lingo, right? Oh, I sprayed that dude from 6 feet away. Oh, yeah, I sprayed him too. Right? You tell your wife you sprayed a dude from 6 feet away. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? You tell your husband I sprayed a dude. Like, with what? What you spray him with? Right? Here we go. So, yes, infidelity does happen, right? Is it 100%? No. Can there be what are they called? Misconstrued or misconstructions? Just made up another word. Assumptions? Yes. Exchanging of phone numbers between partners. Yeah, man, that's like wildfire, right? Whether it's innocent, whether it's not. Swaps. You don't even know how many times I exchange phone numbers for strictly swaps. And why? So I could spend more time with the wife. Travel here, travel there. In the little calendar book, right? You write down their number and swaps. Last name swaps. Boom. Getting off late. Getting relieved late. You could get relieved by a shitty relief or an incident. It's like a domino effect. So if you're at home and you're a spouse member and you can be thinking, hey, where the hell they at? They're cheating on me. They're doing this. They're doing that. When in reality, they just were in a staff assault, an attempted murder on a peace officer, right? This is if the trust is really not there, deteriorated. And now you get off work after you're seeing your partner get beat up, stabbed up, and now you're having your spouse yell at you like, hey, where the hell were you at? And you hoe. It's like, oh, fuck me, man. Right? You can see what this does to a relationship. Yeah, I'm just firing off at the hip, and you can just see, like, damn, it's a lot. It is a lot. I've sought marriage counseling, couples counseling through the VA. That shit was free. I've sought marriage counseling through EAP, right? Whatever that was, EAP. We've worked, fought, worked. Came close to divorce numerous times, and I'm being honest with you guys to be transparent and to let you guys know you guys are not alone fighting in the pad, man. We have a daughter now. She's 4. She sees our arguments. She doesn't like it. She tries to intervene, and that makes me feel a certain way. That makes me feel sad. So yeah, man, if you are married to somebody in the department, it is not easy. It is not easy. It is hard. My hat's off to you. If you really want to make it work, both people have to be all in. Both people have to commit. And if it doesn't work, then that's just that, right? That's just that. I'm never going to tell you to stay together, get divorced. I'm just here to share the message of why and what it is so difficult to work in a prison and hold down a relationship. Keep pushing forward.